Have you ever looked at Chris Hemsworth with a body carved like a Greek god, a face so sharp it could slice bread, and a presence that just screams, "I'm the god of thunder, bow down," and thought, yeah, this guy was probably born in a Hollywood mansion, right? Wrong. So wrong. Wrong like Thor accidentally hurling Mjölnir into the neighbor's Wi-Fi router mid-battle. The truth is, Chris Hemsworth's journey to stardom started far from the flashing lights of Hollywood. He was born in a small Aussie town where the only thing lighting up the sky was the blazing sun and maybe a weekend BBQ. No red carpets, no paparazzi, just the sound of cicadas and the smell of grilled sausages. Back then, Chris wasn't a god. He was just a tall, good-looking guy hustling through odd jobs, a construction worker, a waiter, and sometimes just a blurry extra in Australian soap operas. But somehow, with a bit of grit, charm, and probably a whole lot of chicken breast and dumbbells, that same small-town guy transformed into Thor box office royalty, gymspiration for millions, and the man who made half the world swoon. And the other half hit the gym in despair. Chris Hemsworth was born in 1983, but not in the bright cities of Sydney or Melbourne. No, he came into the world in a remote little town called Bullman, the kind of place you'd have to zoom in on Google Maps 3 times just to find it. When asked about where he grew up, Chris once said, "There were kangaroos, there were cows, and there were crocodiles." Yes, crocodiles. Not the movie kind. The real, sharp-toothed, scaly kind that make you run faster than exam results ever could. His family wasn't wealthy. His mother was a teacher. His father worked in child protection and social services. It was a loving home, but far from luxurious. And little Chris, he didn't just do chores around the house. He actually went crocodile hunting with his dad to help put food on the table.
Damn!
Yes, while other kids were kicking soccer balls or going to tutoring, Chris Hemsworth was chasing crocs in the outback. No spotlight, no red carpets, just a young Aussie kid learning to survive in the wild. Long before he ever learned to act. An unexpected calling. To be fair, Chris Hemsworth didn't grow up dreaming of being an actor. He wasn't the kind of teenager staring at a movie screen thinking, "One day that'll be me." Not even close. As a kid, Chris was all about sports. He played football, trained in martial arts, and had a serious passion for surfing. So much so that he once considered becoming a professional surfer. But life? Well, life has its own plans, and you never know which wave will carry you somewhere unexpected. One sunny day, just out of curiosity, Chris decided to try out for a few small roles on Australian television. No pressure, no big dreams, just a why not moment. And to everyone's surprise, including his own, he landed a part on Home and Away, one of Australia's most popular TV series. He stayed on the show for over 3 years, and it became his first real step into the spotlight. Sounds like everything was falling into place, right? Like, yeah, he's made it. Smooth sailing from here. But not quite. After leaving the show, Chris didn't settle down in Australia. He packed his bags and his dreams and moved to America, chasing something bigger. But Hollywood? Hollywood doesn't roll out the red carpet that easily. He arrived in Los Angeles with little more than hope. His bank account was almost empty. He crashed on friends' couches. He went from audition to audition, trying to land any role he could. Sometimes all he had was a grainy headshot and a 1-page resume. And yes, there were moments he almost gave up. Too many rejections. Too many people telling him he was just a pretty face. But thankfully, he didn't stop. You're not memorable enough for Hollywood. From the very beginning, Chris faced rejection after rejection. One of the first big blows? He auditioned for the role of Captain Kirk in Star Trek and got turned down. Why? Not memorable enough. Ouch. Tall, handsome, sculpted like a Greek god, but in a town overflowing with talent, looks alone just didn't cut it. Then came Marvel's casting call for one of the most powerful characters in the universe, Thor, the god of thunder. Chris threw his name into the ring. He gave it everything he had, and he lost. The role was offered to his younger brother, Liam Hemsworth. Yeah, let that sink in. Imagine being the older brother and losing to your own sibling for the biggest role of your life. That had to sting. But here's the thing about Chris. He didn't give up. Instead of sulking, he doubled down. He trained harder. He refined his acting. And when Marvel opened up one final round of auditions, Chris came back. This time, he performed the emotionally charged scene where Thor confronts Odin, stripped of his power and cast out of Asgard. And this time, the room fell silent. No more smirks, no more. He's just a pretty face. Marvel nodded. Chris Hemsworth was officially Thor. Not because of his muscles, not because of his face, but because he had earned it. With real grit and raw talent. A guy from distant Australia with a deep Aussie accent and a body that looked like it was sculpted by the gods themselves, walked into the Marvel Cinematic Universe and owned it. Chris Hemsworth didn't just play Thor, he became Thor. He took a mythological Norse god and turned him into a modern pop culture icon. Powerful, funny, emotionally complex, and, let's be honest, absurdly good-looking. From the Avengers, The Dark World, Ragnarok, Infinity War, to Endgame. Chris didn't just wield Mjölnir. He wielded the hearts of millions of fans across the globe. Every time Thor showed up, the screen lit up. Not just from the lightning, but from the sheer charisma, charm, and presence that Chris brought to the role. He became one of the true pillars of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. A hero on screen, and a box office powerhouse off it. From a crocodile-hunting kid in Bullman, to the god of thunder seen by the entire world. A journey no one dared to dream, but Chris Hemsworth made it real. But behind the muscles is iron discipline. Think having a body like Thor is easy? Think again. Chris trains 6 days a week. He follows a strict diet of 6,000 calories a day. No alcohol, no sugar, no slacking off. His transformation isn't magic, it's discipline. Behind the scenes, Chris has an entire team. Trainers, nutritionists, recovery specialists, all working together to keep him in godlike shape. And he doesn't keep the secrets to himself. He later launched his own fitness app called Center, so fans could follow the same training routines, meal plans, and mindset that helped him become Thor. Because for Chris Hemsworth, strength isn't just about muscle. It's about commitment, consistency, and showing up, even when no one's watching. No. More than just Thor, Chris Hemsworth didn't get stuck in the Marvel box. Far from it. He took on a wide range of roles that proved he's not just a superhero. He's a serious actor. In Rush, he played legendary F1 driver James Hunt, a performance that drew rave reviews from critics. In Extraction, he became a global action star, with the Netflix hit setting streaming records around the world. Even in the reboot of Ghostbusters, a film that sparked plenty of debate, Chris's comedic timing and charm stood out, earning praise even from the film's toughest critics. He showed us that he's not just a pretty face, he's the real deal. A versatile, dedicated, and undeniably talented actor. A devoted husband, and a loving father. In 2010, Chris Hemsworth married Spanish actress Elsa Pataky. Instead of chasing the spotlight in Los Angeles, the couple chose a peaceful life in Byron Bay, Australia, far away from the chaos of Hollywood. Together, they have 3 children. And for Chris, family always comes first. In 2022, while filming the series Limitless, Chris took a genetic test and discovered he had a high risk of developing Alzheimer's disease later in life. It was a turning point. He decided to take a step back from acting. Not for the cameras, not for the fame, but to spend more time with the people who matter most. His wife, his kids, his loved ones. Because at the heart of this superhero is a real human being, with a big heart, strong values, and the courage to choose family over fame. From bar waiter to Hollywood's god of thunder. Before wielding Mjölnir, Chris Hemsworth was carrying drink trays at a bar. He mopped floors. He took odd jobs just to get by. And he was rejected, over and over again. But he never gave up. With iron discipline, quiet humility, and relentless effort, Chris climbed his way from forgettable side roles to the very top of Hollywood's A-list. From an unknown Aussie kid to one of the most powerful, beloved, and inspiring stars on the planet. Not because he played a god, but because he proved one thing. If you stay persistent and keep pushing forward, anything is possible. And that was today's story. If you found it interesting, feel free to give me a like and share. It really helps me stay motivated to make more videos like this. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you won't miss any of the upcoming stories. And if there's a celebrity or public figure you'd love to hear a story about, just drop their name in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching all the way to the end. See you again in the next story.